Today I'm chatting with Lana Holien, who is the Acting Coordinator of Strategy and Development at Boroondara Council. Welcome, Lana.
Hello, thank you for having me.
And just before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands that we're meeting on today and pay our respects to elders, past, present and emerging. And I'd also like to extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. I'm actually working from home in Lana Holien, and that's the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. Lana, can you tell me where you're coming from today?
Yeah, so I'm in Croydon at the moment, in my home, and I too am on the land of the Wurundjeri people.
Thank you, fantastic. So I just wanted to ask you really about your role, which I believe has changed a little bit recently, and if you could describe your role and the work that you're doing at the moment at Boroondara Council.
Yeah, sure. So I've just stepped back into the coordinator role in an acting position, which I did last year for a stint as well. And it's a really exciting role where we are driving our healthy ageing plan. I've got a team of five other people in my team, and we run a whole series of initiatives, projects, programs that enable the better health and connections of older people living in Boroondara.
Fantastic. And how long have you been working at Boroondara Council for?
So I've been at Boroondara for going on 6 years now, and mainly in the healthy ageing department. And I've previously been in a project officer role, and now in the coordinator role. This year we've been working on our 2020 action plan.
Tell me about the key work that you've been doing this year with the COVID-19 response and the pandemic.
Yeah, sure. So we've been working on our 2020 action plan, and part of that also, because of COVID, has been a bit of a response to that. And one of the projects that we've done recently is our intergenerational cooking classes. And it's given the opportunity for grandparents and their grandchildren to connect online. And it involves a Zoom class with a cooking instructor. The grandparent will be in their kitchen, the grandchild in their kitchen, and they log on to a Zoom class and have a cook-up together. So that's been really successful and popular. So it's a really great opportunity, not just for the intergenerational connections that we can form via that program, but the opportunity for older people who may not use these online technologies on a day-to-day basis to be encouraged to find new ways to connect with their family and others, and to practice using Zoom and other technologies like that.
That sounds absolutely fantastic. What a great initiative.
It's been fun.
Yeah. So what excites and motivates you in your role then?
I'd say the people that I work with. I've got an excellent team, 5 people that work alongside me that are so passionate about what they do. They're energised, going through the whole transition of working from home and everything. Everyone has had ups and downs, but throughout it all, their resilience and ability just to keep going and finding new ways and holding on to that passion has been really inspiring. And I think also working for a organisation that really encourages innovative change and thinking and, looking for new ways of doing things really helps me in my role to think of new ways and do the best that we can for our community.
Brilliant. So how could our Inner East PCP partners get involved in some of your work?
Sure. So I think probably the best thing to do is to get your hands on this, our healthy ageing plan. Add life to your years, healthy ageing in Boroondara. Unfortunately, it's not out there in the community as much as we'd like. We had our launch planned for March, and it got cancelled at the very beginning of this pandemic. But we are trying to get it out there. Get in contact with me if you're interested to get a copy. At the very back of it, we've got our long list of 2020 actions there. So have a look through, have a look at what we're working on, and if there's any synergies there that you're doing something similar or you're interested in, reach out and we'll have a virtual coffee, and really eager to collaborate and connect with others about the work that we do and to share our experiences.
Oh, that's really great. Fantastic. So have you got any reflections on the nature of the isolation? You've touched on it a little bit already, talking about the changing to the online platforms. So for the communities that you work with, especially now that we're entering into week 2 of our second isolation period, what's sort of your reflection on this time?
Yeah, I think that the need for digital access is really prominent right now. I think that the digital divide has been on the agenda for many years, and COVID has just absolutely shone a light on it, and the need for fast tracking in digital literacy and access to digital devices for older people that don't have that access is more prevalent than ever, and it has to be a real focus for the work that we do at local, state and federal levels, that we have to get people that are not connected now to be connected, because there's no going back from here. This is the way of the future, and the more that we don't have people included in this way of life, the more isolated they're going to be.
And really, really highlighted, I think, at the moment, with libraries having to close down again and people not being able to access publicly available devices. So what sort of strategies are you using or thinking of using to make improvements in that area?
Sure. So one thing we've been looking at is we've been working with our libraries to see how we can set up a digital loaning scheme where people could loan, say, an iPad for 3 months, and with that they can be put into like a Be Connected program so they can learn how to use that device, and it gives them the ability to use a device, get used to it and understand how to use it, but then after that 3-month period to make the decision of, do I go and buy this device? Is this the type of device for me? What other supports do I need? But it's just a bit of a try before you buy experience, and there's the added support as well with learning how to use it. So that's one thing that we're looking at. Also looking at how we can be, where these devices can come from. We seem to go through these devices on such a regular, 18-month to 2-year cycle. So there's so many of these devices that are out there probably sitting in people's drawers. How can we reuse these devices for people that don't have access to them at the moment?
Oh, that sounds like an excellent initiative to also help with, recycling and reusing rather than filling up landfills.
Absolutely.
So what strategies have you found have helped you at the moment when you're working from home?
I think that when we first moved to home to work, I was very much, okay, so I did 8 hours in the office and now I have to do my 8 hours at home. And it's probably taken me 4 months to realise it, but it just doesn't work in that same way. So being a little bit more, taking your foot off and being a bit more fluid with how you do work. So my typical day now is I'll wake up quite early in the morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock, and jump on and do work for an hour or so whilst my daughter's sleeping. Then she'll wake up and then we'll have breakfast and get ready and everything. I'll drop her to kinder and then I'll come back and then I'll do some more work. There might be some loads of washing in between, but it's just about getting the work that you need done throughout the day, and not being too hard on yourself that I wasn't able to have my structured day as I used to have, and yeah, just adapting to the new. It's a very different world that we live in, and as I said before, we're not going back. This is, you know, hopefully we'll go back to our office at some point, but it probably won't be as it was before. So it's not being too hard on yourself when you can't do what you used to do, but still, you know, striving to do your best and get the work done.
I really like that mantra. I think that would be very relevant and useful to everyone.
And can I say, #1 tip is, if you've got a meeting on the phone, get your earphones in, and that washing that's been sitting there for 3 days, fold it whilst you're talking. That's my tip.
Yeah, using a bit of those home duties to break up the day. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
So what are you most looking forward to when this next period of isolation is over?
I'd have to say, when it's allowed, a girls' weekend away. Indeed. I've spent too much time with my child, Sharon. So, yeah, definitely just to get out somewhere, whether it be an Airbnb or go camping or something like that, just to get out and do something a little bit different than the everyday that we've got in the house at the moment.
Yeah, sure. We're all feeling that. But is there anything that you're secretly enjoying about being in isolation?
Well, I'll counteract my last statement with spending too much time with my child. I do actually enjoy having the extra time that I've got with Ruby, because we get to do things we never got to do before. We now ride a bike on occasions to Kinder, and I drop her off there, and she's got her seat on the back and she absolutely loves it. And, you know, just the extra time going for walks, and Ruby's on a scooter, and as cold as these winter days are, when the sun's out, and you've got a nice jacket on, it's a really lovely outside. So there is definitely positives with the extra time we get to spend with our kids. So yeah, it has been good.
Excellent. So is there one message that you would like to share about, you know, all of us are aging, no matter how old we are. So one message about aging well or aging healthily, and you know, being as positive about aging, I suppose, as we can be.
Yeah, so one thing that I always tell everyone in my circles is that no matter your age, you've just got to make sure you're participating, that you're out there, you're thinking about your physical health, you're thinking about your emotional health, connecting with others. But as soon as you start retreating from those things, you're building that bubble of isolation, and your social health is linked to your physical health, and it's all connected. So the more and more people can keep reaching out and keep themselves busy with activities, and keeping their mind engaged, the healthier we will be. So if we start that from a young age and continue that through, and there's no reason, as you get older, there's no reason why any of that should stop. So keep yourself connected, keep yourself active, and live a happy life.
Well, thanks, Lana. I think that's a fabulous message for everyone to try and live up to, really. So thank you so much for our chat today. I really appreciate your time, and it was really lovely to talk to you and hear a little bit more about your work.
Thank you very much, and good luck at home, and yeah, keep warm through this winter time.